Alright, just give me the countdown and we're good to go.
Okay. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Rocket Robot on Wheels. It's basically like a Banjo-Kazooie clone, kinda. So right away, I'm gonna be collecting the first ticket, which is basically a Jiggy. And if I did it right, I would have save and quit in midair, which would skip this cutscene. It's no big deal. It only saves like 10 seconds or so. And basically, right now, I'm just going to unlock the first world. And once I go inside, there's going to be a text box that shows up. If I pause on the same frame that it shows up, I'll skip it, because this game has trouble with two things happening at once. So I just kind of mash to skip the text box. And I'll be doing that a lot. There's a lot of text boxes that are pretty simple to skip. That first one is kind of difficult, just because there's really no frame of reference. It's just kind of like, it appears like 2 seconds after you enter the level. It's really hard to tell. So right now I'm just going to be going through collecting these tokens. There's 200 in each world, and you get a ticket for collecting them all. I just collected a machine part, which is kind of like the Jinjos in Banjo. You get a ticket for collecting them all, but it also opens up another area in the level. So I'll show you that later on. Oh, I fell. So falling is pretty bad there. I have to redo that whole segment. Usually that's an instant reset. But this is a marathon, so I can't reset. So basically this game is about a robot who is tasked with protecting the amusement park the night before its opening. And he's really just tasked with babysitting the park's mascots, which are Whoopi the Walrus and Jojo the Raccoon. And the park's owner, Dr. Gavin, decides to go out to a party to celebrate the park's opening. And Jojo the Raccoon decides, hey, this would be a great time to take over. So he escapes his cage, steals everything, and tries to rename the park Jojo World after himself. Because he's narcissistic and evil like that. And so basically you're just going around collecting everything to make sure that the park opens properly. I'm only doing any percent, so I only need to collect 65 of the tickets, which unlocks the final level. And then there's 84 tickets total in the game, so if you're doing 100%, there's like 20 more. 19? Well, yeah, 19. So right now I'm collecting these screws, which I'm throwing into that little part there. Once I collect all 4 screws, it opens up that attraction. So I'll be able to make a roller coaster once I collect this last screw. Okay, I got that text skip. There's a really long text box there that tells you how to make a roller coaster, but I've done it so many times that I don't need to know. And with any good roller coaster simulator, you gotta start with a small one, and then you gotta work your way up to a big one. Throw in a couple loops, just to be fun, you know. Then we gotta ride it. Make sure it's safe, because you don't want anyone breaking their necks on a roller coaster the day the park opens. So here's our first vehicle. It's the hot dog car. It's also known as the dune dog, because it's like a dune runner. Okay, I missed the jump there, but it's no big deal. So save and quit there gets us back to Tinker, which is the mechanic for the park. He can use the tokens to upgrade you. So I got, what is it, 80 tokens, and he gives me my first upgrade, which is Slam. This gives me the ability to grab something and then break it. So I'll grab that box, and this is also the first instance of the animation skip. So by slamming after collecting either a machine part or a ticket, I'll skip the little backflip that he does, because the game has trouble doing two things at once. Just like with the text boxes, if you pause, it doesn't bring up the text box. And there's going to be an instance later where you're going to be using a different move to skip animations a lot faster. And yeah, this is being played on emulator right now. I don't really want to wake everyone up to go downstairs and play on console. But this game emulates really, really well. I'm pretty sure Azrae also plays on emulator, and he's the world record holder. Or he at least played on emulator for a long time. So this race here is a big troll. If I don't move this rock out of the way, the corn on the cob car that I'm racing, he gets stuck a lot. And if he gets stuck, he'll be like, "Oh, I'm stuck. This is cheating. You can't win the race now. So meet me back at the start, and we'll race again." So normally that wall's supposed to give me a good bounce to turn me, but it didn't. Okay, I got the early cycle entering. You have just enough time to get underneath the foot before it closes. If not, you have to wait another cycle. So I didn't really talk about the grapple mechanic yet. Basically, your main form of attacking or doing anything is to grapple, which is your B button. And a lot of the platforming is going to revolve around just like grabbing onto random things and like taking these conveyor belts, or like there's going to be like other like things that you can grab. Oh, dang. Rip. So yeah, I was trying to do a little skip there. You can jump on top of the conveyor belt and it'll prevent you from having to sit and just listen to the music. Please. Okay. Alright, I don't... whatever. There we go. I was gonna say I was just gonna, let it rip for a bit, but... whatever. Gotta watch out for the Donkey Kong barrels. Now that was the hardest part of the entire, like, run right there. Like, the hardest part of this part. You gotta do the Flintstones and slide down the T-Rex's back, but you can't miss a ticket there. The theory behind the title, Rocket Robot on Wheels, is that because you ride in all these different vehicles, the vehicles mostly have wheels, so the theory is that that's what it's referring to, and not that he has one wheel on his body. So this is the second world. It's modeled after like ancient Rome. Each world has a different theme now, and they're all going to be very, very different. This one, as you can already tell, the vehicle is a hover car that shoots paint. How did I discover this game? I found it at Blockbuster, and I rented it as a kid, and I loved it, and ever since I just kind of got into playing it. I actually waited a long time before I actually bought the game. And then back in 2009, 2010, I went out and bought it for real and started speedrunning it. This was the first game that I decided to really speedrun. And I was one of the 2 runners at the time. It was me and Azure who played this game. There's also Gigoppler, who is about 20 seconds off the record. I just haven't had enough time to practice to get the record on this, so it's really those two that we're fighting for the record. So this is a cool little a segment here where you have these little pools of paint and you just go around painting yourself to look like the guard, so that because he's pretty much blind, he's wearing glasses. He's like, oh, you look pretty small for a guard. Go on in. And this is where I'm gonna get the second upgrade, which is double jump. Now, basically, everything's gonna be a lot more platforming, and it's gonna be a lot more difficult. So this next puzzle, you have to go ahead and paint these orbs in the correct color. So that once they're above the same color, they create lightning. You need all of them to create lightning at the same time to make the ticket appear. Oh, and yeah, every single world is basically a pun. So the first world was called Clowny Island, and it was basically a Coney Island kind of theme. This is Paint Misbehavin', and you know, it's a pun on Ain't Misbehavin', and it's you use the paint gun throughout the level. And I guess I'll explain each one as I go now. But the next one is a mine shaft level, so get your puns ready for that. So just like in real life, sheep float, and you need to drown a sheep basically in order to get a ticket, because there's a switch underneath that dock, and you need to kill that sheep in order to use it. And each world pretty much has two vehicles that you can use. Okay, I messed that up. It's whatever. Slight little backup. You can do a damage boost off of that force field to reach that grapple point. But I need health for this next part, because this guy over here almost always hits me. And, well, actually, most of the time I want him to hit me, because that skips the animation. So I always leave that 1 extra HP. But if I go all out, then Usually I'll die there, and I need to die later. I need to do a death warp. So I don't remember if I actually explained what all the machine parts do. They open up a new area, or they activate the machine of the world. This machine pumps water through the level, so it raises the water level and allows you to access the aqueducts, which is that gate opening there. We're not actually going to enter the aqueducts in this category, but in 100%, you go there and it's a nightmare. And I didn't really explain this either. Every world has a ring challenge. Most of them involve the world's vehicles, but there's one that you do on foot. And they're timed, you just have to go through all the rings in order. If you don't go in order, it resets. It's pretty simple stuff. There's one that's basically Superman 64. Because you're flying around and you're going through rings. If only there were cars that you could throw, then this would literally be a Superman 64 clone. So, secret ticket. Yeah. Yeah, the tickets get very annoying. I just look at them as tickets and I don't look at the letters, so I try not to think about the D. But when I think about the D, my mind gets very, very bad. So throughout the overworld, there's a bunch of these little segments where you're just going through an area, and you get a ticket. So now we're entering the third world. It's the mine world, and it's called Mind Blowing. Did I just blow your mind? I hope so. So these mushrooms act like Super Mario 64 triple jumps, basically. And they won't let go until you triple jump. Luckily, you don't have to actually be like running to do a triple jump in this, you just have to time it properly. This is a small sequence break up here. You just jump around. Prevents you from having to like navigate through the entire level. And this is one of the very few parts where I am like super nervous about. I have to death warp, and I need to hit a switch and grab a ticket, so I did that. Okay. Okay. We did it. That was all to just blow up that little wall there. And I keep getting grabbed by the mushroom. I'm supposed to be using the mushroom to just to slam and cancel the animations, but whatever. And normally, the way you would do that ticket is to, there's a main room that I'm going to be going into next. You're supposed to go grab a bomb from there, and then take it all the way down that elevator. But it's just so much faster to death warp, and then grab the bomb from the entrance. And that guy's going to hit me. Ooh. Sometimes these boulders can be very, very annoying with their pathing. My god, why do I keep getting hit? So yeah, this is the main room, and this is the bomb I'm talking about. You take this bomb and go down that hallway to the right, and you go through like 2 other hallways, and you'll finally reach the first room. Okay. And for some reason, you can clip yourself through those walls a little bit. You can only do it to certain ones. It depends on how it's like their geometry, kind of. It's annoying. Okay. That ticket is kind of annoying, but it's okay. Oh, I missed. I have to wait a cycle. Okay. Here is where we get the best move in the game, Freeze Ray. With my Freeze Ray, I can rule the world. Basically, Freeze Ray is so broken that, yeah, it makes the rest of the game pretty simple. So Freeze Ray replaces Slam as our go-to way to skip animations, and shoutouts to the 502. But like I was saying, freeze race, we'll skip animations now. And also, you can jump on it. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to go from the edge and, you know, like, work your way in, but with a little bit of timing, you can just create one and jump on it as it's rising up. But wait, there's more. There's still another thing that makes freeze ray completely broken. But you won't see that for a little while, at least. This is like the hardest puzzle in the game. Like, seriously. I would have never thought to go in a circle. Okay, I got the purple. Oh, come on. Welcome to the next world. It's called Arabian Flights. I bet you can't guess where they got that name from. And I bet you had no idea that this would be the vehicle for the level. So if you guys liked Banjo-Kazooie, here's the eagle from Click Clack Wood. It's Irie the eagle. It makes a cameo appearance. And now it's time to learn how to use magnets. I still really don't know how to use magnets. I just kind of do things. It's whatever. Alright, whatever. I don't care. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So, do you guys like Half-Life 2? Because this is basically Half-Life 2. Oh, and Half-Life 3 confirmed. Flying is the hardest thing, because if you bump into anything, you just lose all your altitude and all your momentum. So you just can't do shit. Like, it's bad. Alright. So next is the jumping tile puzzle. Yeah, this is bad. It likes to eat your inputs all the time. Luckily, we made it. Are you serious? Come on. Okay. So I didn't mention this earlier, but the entire routing for the tokens is just so I can have 650 by the end of this level, which will get me the final upgrade. And I don't have to worry about tokens ever again. Oh my god, I can't get enough height. Alright, there we go. For this puzzle, you kind of need to know your color theory a little bit. And that'll give us the final upgrade, which is the long shot. It just extends our grapple reach so we can use it kind of at further distances. And this is a little thing that I found out about not too long ago. You can hit that little switch from down below by hitting it with the grapple. And so we took this really funky looking elevator to get to the second floor. Now we're gonna just use it to get even higher. There we go. Oh my god, I'm taking so much damage. As long as I don't die. Please. So now we're going into the next level, just in time for Halloween. We got our Halloween themed level. It's called Food Fright. It's a mix of candy and monsters. And those mushrooms return as marshmallows. So we got to do the triple jump again. For this world, I want to try not to get hurt too much. If I take too much damage, it's going to be really, really bad. So here we're gonna try and feed the scale monster the candies he wants. He wants 2 caramels and two peppermints and a little rocket for flavor. So getting all the machine parts in this world activates everything, and this allows us to go up to the second floor and the top floor. It just sets everything in motion, and now we have to scale the level. Which is also why it's really bad if I die, because I have to do this all over again. So I mentioned earlier that there's one level where you do the ring challenge on foot. It's this level. Oh my god. No. That was not supposed to happen. But it ate my jump input. It likes to do that. Even if you're on the ground, it'll activate your double jump. Sometimes it's just really annoying, you have to get used to it. You also have to get used to the way the camera just decides it wants to spin around. Here's the troll. He wants us to feed him. But, I don't think that's a good idea. So we're just gonna grab the ticket out of his butt and we'll be on our way. So this is the area where your health really comes into play. This is the top floor. And we're only going to be doing two things on the top floor. We're just going to be activating this monster, getting on top of him, and we're going to go inside the monster. Inside the belly of the beast, so to speak. So we're going to play a quick game of Shadow of the Colossus. Oh crap. Okay, we got the skip first try. That's really what I was worried about. So basically what happened there was, when I went inside the monster, I didn't have enough tokens to use the Spider Rider, which is the vehicle. So what I did was I just used the pause menu to get rid of it. Get rid of the, you're not allowed to ride this text, and it just said, oh, okay, you can ride it now. And then I jumped across that little, like, vein thing, and it hurts you, so that's why I was really worried about damage. Because if you take too much damage there, it's going to be a really long time before you get back there. But anyway, this is the final world that we're going to be collecting stuff in. This is Pyramid Scheme. And basically, this world has a really, really interesting gimmick. And you will see. I'm not going to spoil it. All I'm gonna say is I hope you're paying attention to your surroundings and seeing what's around right now. That was a bad. Oh my god. There we go. That's the final use for, final different use for Freeze Ray. You can use it as a boost off of those platforms. So now that we're turning in the machine parts, it'll completely change the level dynamics. Now we're going into the night, and everything is different at night. Oh my god, why is this jump being so stupid today? So this puzzle, it's sort of like a chase sequence. You're supposed to just keep going to the left, but, you know, we just kind of go right and makes short work of that. And now, we're just going to be a bat out of hell. So we're gonna take the motorcycle from Bat Outta Hell, and we're just gonna drive around, do the ring challenge. This room is supposed to have a giant puzzle in it, where you just, you know, go around the room on the different rocks, but, you know, you can skip it. And I missed. I missed the freaking ticket. Okay. Okay. Whatever. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. To at least one of the death orbs. It's okay. We can go back and get it. Oh. Yeah, that was the warp that I worked on the least, so I kind of figured I would die there. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the death here. Even though it probably is a little bit faster to make my way back to the beginning. I need the health for later. Because now we're going to be making our way into JoJo's world, which is the final level. And JoJo's world is basically a gauntlet of obstacles from each world that we've been to so far. And I didn't get the tech skip. Alright, let's just take a moment to soak this in. He's trying to take over America. We can't allow that. We cannot allow him to take over America, so we have to stop him. That was a slow skip, but we got there. Basically, that skip's having to repaint yourself from the earlier level. Same colors, but this time you have people shooting paint at you to try and like turn you different colors before you get to the guard. And that just utilizes the way damage works on like early frames and late frames of your damage animation. You bounce just like a tiny bit higher. And that gives you just enough height to make it over that little wall there. Ugh. There we go. Oh, and like I said, this is a gauntlet, so if you die, you start all the way at the beginning. So you really do not want to die here. Luckily, there's not too much that can kill me from this point out. It's just, it's really that fan and that paint skip that are really troublesome. Here, I still don't know how magnets work, so we're gonna skip it again. There we go. hopefully we'll skip the magnets here. This skip is just really stupid, but we got it. Second try. Not bad. What makes that trick really stupid is that it's all luck dependent on how that that box is going to like move around. So now, a lot of people are usually confused at this point what I'm doing. If you look underneath me, there is like a gear. I'm actually rotating it with my wheel, and that rotates the platform attached to the gear, which allows me to get to the other side. It's a really cool gimmick. I wish they used it elsewhere in the game, but sadly that's the only place that you see that. The Sinister Spider is not so sinister when you know his weakness. Bombs. Oh, hello. I missed the bomb. There we go. And the fact that you can just get rid of one leg and go right on up. Next up we have what I dubbed the climb. Basically, this is the final boss of the game, in my eyes. This part is easily like the hardest part. But we got it. We did it first try, but we're not through yet. If I don't make it to that grapple point, then we're in big trouble. We have to do that whole segment over again from the spider. But because I made it, we're good. If you fall off that platform before the grapple point, it sends you back to the spider. And this is the real final boss. It's probably the most difficult final boss in the game, or in any game ever. It's the Flaming Sphere of Doom, but it's kind of unfinished. So, yeah. Time's gonna be coming up in about a minute or so. I'll let you know when that's gonna be happening. Until then, we're just gonna take a nice leisurely stroll on this little ball. Just, you know, kind of make our way down this little path, headed towards that little sign that says JoJo World. And we're just picking up momentum, just, you know, keeping it going. Lucky for us, there's this little strip in the middle where, you know, there's nothing that can hurt you. So you just keep going there. And time.
Alright. Get you your time in a second. I guess Supreme's waiting. What a boss.
So this is the ending. You see Dr. Gavin. You don't actually see his face, but he shows up to congratulate you, and you get a ticket for completing that. And there's actually a little quirk with emulator where sometimes you can't actually move right after. But that is Rocket Robot on Wheels.
Alright. Thanks for playing for the marathon, Mashy.
Thanks for having me. Oh, it's a 106 something? 106.20?
Yeah, 106.20.
Okay, that's not bad. My PV is like a 104, so even with all those mistakes, I was still like 2.5 minutes away from my PV. It's not really bad, considering all the things that can go wrong.
I might have to call Supreme.